Happy holidays everyone, and welcome to a new video. And today, as you can see in the title, we are doing a pickups video. I didn't plan on doing one until sometime next year, but I saw someone on Twitter talking about they want to see a pickups video, so I said, you know what, let me go ahead and make that happen. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you're enjoying your holidays. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here's Astronaut. This game came out of nowhere for me. This was sent to me by Funstock. And this is a Metroidvania where you play as an astronaut who crash lands on a planet. Now, the game is in black and white, but that doesn't take away from its charm. But the game does have a problem that kind of annoys me. It's not going to annoy everybody, but it annoyed me. So if you guys have played games like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, you know how that game starts with Alucard. He has his weapons and all that stuff. And then when you get to a certain part, you get all that taken away from you. Well, the same thing happens in this game. Just when I got used to how the mechanics go pretty much, how you shoot enemies, jump around, use your jetpack, they took everything away from me, even my weapons. So I couldn't even attack anybody. So that was pretty annoying. But luckily, the first item you get back is your gun, so you can fight back. But man, getting you used to that mechanic pretty much, like you have everything and then all of a sudden they just take it away, it's just so annoying. But that doesn't take away from the game. It's just an annoyance for me. Now, I haven't got too far in the story yet, but the dialogue is freaking funny. If you listen to what they say to each other, it's a pretty funny dialogue in this game. Now, the game does have certain puzzles that are time-based pretty much. So, let's say you set off a trap pretty much, and you have to figure out a puzzle. You don't figure out in time, of course, you get killed Indiana Jones style, so be careful of that. But none of the puzzles so far are too hard. It's just like, it can be very tense because, you know, like, there's one puzzle I set off where the water is going to come up and drown me, and I have to shoot these orbs in time in a right order to get the water to drop back down. So that was a tense moment for me trying to get that done. But I think it's an exciting game, and I think a lot of people will like it. If you like puzzle platformers, Metroidvania style games, Astronaut is right up your alley. This game is pretty hidden from what I know, so I didn't even know it got an American release. So if you like what you're seeing here, it might be a game you want to check out. From VGNYSOFT. This is a survival horror game, and it's from the makers, if you guys remember that game I did back in the day called Count Lucanor. It's from the same makers who made that game. So this is a survival horror game where you play as a man going to his first day on a job, and there's a lot of crazy things happening in this building. I don't want to spoil too much, but you have a lot of choices in this game. After seeing some of the craziness this game has to offer, you're given a contract, and if you sign that contract, that's pretty much where the game starts. But you can also opt not to sign the contract. I opted not to sign it to see what would happen. It pretty much is kind of like blue pilling yourself. So the game would kind of end there, and you would get a certain ending. But the real game starts once you sign that contract. So lots of different endings, lots of different achievements. I think a lot of people will like this game. So this is available, as you can see, on the Switch. I'll leave a link in the description of where you could buy it from. Video Games New York. I talked about them on my channel before. So I'm pretty sure you guys will click the link if you're interested in a copy. And next up is Stellar Interface. So this is a shooter that pretty much you really have to prepare yourself because this game will throw it all at you. I barely got past the first 3 levels because I wasn't prepared. I was like, what is going on? But the game is interesting, and I think a lot of shooter fans will take interest in this one. So if any of you have played this, because as a digital game, this game has been out, I think, around 10 months now. But now it's got an exclusive physical release from Video Games New York Soft. So if you want to pick up a physical of this game, I'll have that link in the description as well. But I'm definitely going to need to practice this game more. Like, struggling on the first 3 levels, this is not like me when it comes to shooter games. So, but I like a game that gives me a little bit of challenge when it comes to shooters. But still, I got to get my skills up. But anyways, guys, if you like what you're seeing here, maybe you'll want to check this one out. Bubble Bobble for the NES. I remember playing this back in the day, and very disappointed with how the game plays out once you get to the ending. Now, the game is a lot of fun, but if you have enough skill to get to the final level and beat the last boss, you're in for a surprise if you're playing solo. The game will tell you that you can't beat the game because you don't have a second player, you don't have a friend to play with. So the trick is to push start right when you beat the last boss on a second controller for this game. But I didn't know that as a kid, so I was very disappointed when I played this game for the first time because a lot of my friends weren't skilled like I was at this game, so they couldn't make it to the end with me. But yeah, Bubble Bobble on the NES, more of a nostalgic pickup. Here's Adventure Island for the NES. So mostly I played the Super Nintendo games and I really like those. So going back to play this one is kind of primitive, I would say, but still I actually like this one. Mostly I like the part when you kind of get on the obstacles like the skateboard. I think that really turns things up. But I wasn't sure if I was going to keep this game or not. I'm going to play it a little bit more and see if it kind of grabs me. But it seems like a fun game though, so we'll see how it goes. My buddy Scotty is the one that talked me into keeping this one, so hopefully, it'll really pull me in. But yeah, Adventure Island for the NES. If you like what you're seeing here, you might want to check this one out. So here's Q*bert for the NES. So one of the reasons I decided to keep this was because I played the Q*bert arcade game recently on my Replica arcade. If you guys remember, I did that video, and I was really enjoying that game. Playing it on the NES was fun, but I do still prefer the arcade game over this one. But if you don't have a choice and you want to play Q*bert, I think the NES version is fine. Here's Top Gear Part 1 and 2. Now, this is an arcade racing game, and pretty much it was influential in a way that, if you guys played a game called Horizon Chase Turbo, this game is the game that influenced that game. So, as you can see here, first one we're going to take a look at is Top Gear Part 1. Top Gear Part 1 has a phenomenal soundtrack. It's great music, really easy on the ears. And it also has a dual screen at all times. Now, I don't know if that's unfortunate, for most people, but I think it's fine. You can play 2 players at any time. The second game, I feel is the better game, but the soundtrack is not as good as the first one done by Barry Lynch. So, anyways, both of these games are worth having, especially if you play Horizon Chase Turbo. If you like that game, definitely pick these up. Here's Retro City Rampage DX and Shakedown Hawaii for the PlayStation 3, and I believe these are the last PS3 physical releases that are going to be out. These are it. I hope I'm right about that because I'm tired of trying to keep up with the system. But anyways, now I haven't played Retro City Rampage in a long time, but when I did play it, I think I played it on the PSP, and this game was wild as hell. It was pretty crazy. Pretty much, if you played the old school Grand Theft Auto games, the top-down ones, if you remember those, you'll know what you're getting into here. But this game is very nostalgic to old school 8-bit games. Shakedown Hawaii, I believe, is more of the same, but they step it up with 16-bit graphics in this game. I want to beat Retro City Rampage first before I get into this one. This one, to me, already seems like a better game. But honestly, maybe it doesn't matter which one I play first. It seems like I'm in for a good time. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing both of these games. Here's Explosive Racing. Now, this game is a sequel to a game you guys probably don't know about, and that game is Burning Road on the PlayStation 1. Now, this only came out in Europe, unfortunately. I'm not sure why it didn't come out to America. Maybe the first one didn't do sell as well or whatnot. But both games are arcade racing games. They're very similar to Daytona. Like, think of Daytona USA if it was called Daytona Canada. Both games are definitely something I think a lot of PS1 people should have in their collection. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about this one, but now, hopefully you will know about it. Definitely pick this one up.
Time extension. Yeah! Time extension.
Here's Space Jam for the PS1. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm a real big fan of the movie. I thought the movie was freaking awesome when it came out. Now, playing the game for the first time, I feel like it was kind of just slapped together. You know, this came out during a time when Acclaim was releasing a lot of NBA Jam games, and I feel like they wanted to do the same thing with this one, but it was just rushed, unfortunately. So the game is fun, but it doesn't have the charm of the NBA Jam games that Acclaim was known for at the time.
Ouch! I thought I saw a putty tap. That hurts. Not for 3. That's the end.
I also got Looney Tunes Racing. I did not know about this game. I thought I knew about every kart racing game out there, but this was one, it kind of eluded me. So I got this one from a trade from my buddy Justice, and I actually like it. I think it's pretty cool. If you like the Looney Tunes lore, this game is definitely a must-have. If you're the newer generation and don't know about Looney Tunes, then this will probably just be a generic kart racing game. But I still think it's above average. Definitely check this one out. I know most of you know by now that one of my favorite platform games is the Rainbow Islands series. Rainbow Islands on the PSP, man, this game has potential. Well, unfortunately, they dropped the ball with the music. One thing about Rainbow Islands, though, it has the same song looping. It's pretty catchy. This one, man, it's just, man, it's bad on the ears. Like, you know, when I play this game, I almost have to turn the music down because it's so horrible. But it's still somewhat of a good game, just the music. If you could replace the music, it'd be much more. Here's Burning Fight for the Neo Geo CD. So if you're into beat 'em up games like Final Fight, this game will be right up your alley. Though I like this game a lot, the character sprites for your main characters are pretty uninspired. I mean, so they just look kind of weird, but still, there's a lot of fun to be had here. I just wish that they kind of designed the main characters like more, you know, like just better, more inspiration. Burning Fight is a must-have for a Neo Geo CD or any other Neo Geo system if you like beat 'em ups. Next up is Breakers. This is a verse fighting game, and I talked about this game a while back. I think during one of my Dreamcast videos. I can't really remember. But this is an awesome fighting game that I don't think a lot of people know about, unfortunately. It's being re-released by Strictly Limited here pretty soon, so you'll have it on modern platforms. I feel like this is more of an old school fighter, literally. But it's a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people will actually like this one. So be on the lookout for their Strictly Limited release. I mean, honestly, guys, when they release a game, I don't know when you'll actually receive it. But I don't know if it's out as a download as of yet. But keep your eye out for this one. I think a lot of people will like it. Here's a Nightmare for the PS5. Now, I talked about this game on my channel before, and you play as a kid who wakes up in a nightmarish world where he's being stalked by this, like, I want to say like this evil witch lady or whatever like that. She's really creepy. And it's kind of tense because you'll get into parts of the game where you have to do certain puzzles in a certain amount of time while you're being chased. So it's very like unnerving, I would say. Now, this game was released as a budget game. I think it was originally $20, but now you can find it on clearance at GameStop and other stores, probably for around $10 or maybe even less than that. But if you're into a little bit of puzzle, horror, adventure, I would say you would definitely want to pick this game up. It's definitely worth the price. And here is Road 96. Yes, I'm talking about this game again. It was on clearance at GameStop. I think the PS5 version was like $7 or somewhere like that. One of these versions was like $7 and the other one was like slightly a little bit more. But anyways, going into this game, you play as a bunch of different teenagers trying to escape a state called Petria. And pretty much on your adventure, you'll You'll meet all types of people, good and bad. And you'll be put in certain type of situations where you have to choose like critical moments. It's very well done, I would say. Depending on your choices, there could be like, I believe there's like 3 endings. I got the best ending my first time playing it, so I was pretty much satisfied. But some people might not get the best ending the first time playing this game. But basically, to get the best ending, you want to try to keep people alive. And I'm not talking about the silhouette characters. I'm talking about the main cast of the game. But yeah, I won't say too much more about it. Hopefully some of you guys already played this game and beat it. But yeah, like I always say, let me know what you think about this one.
Time for you to hit the road.
Here's Streets of Rage 4, the Anniversary Edition. So what's cool about this version of the game is that if you didn't already own the regular version, this comes with the DLC embedded on the disc. So no codes, none of that weird update stuff. Like everything is included on the disc as it should be, which is freaking awesome. But one thing I didn't like the cover of this game. So pretty much what I did was I grabbed the original cover from my original version and put it in this case. So I can always see that cover of the game pretty much. If you have not played Streets of Rage 4, you're in for something pretty amazing. I don't know how a lot of the old school fans feel about this one compared to the other ones, but I think it's a really good game. I didn't like the look of certain characters like Axel. I thought they did a horrible job on him. But everybody else I thought they did a pretty good job on. I was pretty impressed. And the music in the game was fantastic. Some of the boss fights are pretty epic. It's very well done. So hopefully, with the success of this game, hopefully they'll come up with a part 5. So we'll see what happens with that. But if you see Streets of Rage 4 or the Anniversary Edition mainly, or even the regular version, I would say definitely pick this up, guys. The Dark Anthology is The Devil in Me. So this is the final game, at least for season 1 for the Dark Anthology series. And I thought this one, though it's not my favorite, I think the Ashes one was my favorite one. This one is probably right next to it as my second favorite. Now, I'll tell you guys this, like when it comes to like horror games, and you know, I'm a big horror movie buff. A lot of people don't know that. So I know the choices that need to be made for everybody's survival. And I've been pretty good at the Dark Anthology games and even the precursor games like Until Dawn, getting everybody to survive until the end, because usually they create characters that you really like. So you want everybody to survive. Now, there's only one game that I messed up in, and you guys probably saw that live stream when I played The Quarry. The Quarry kind of tricks you. So one of my characters actually died. But anyways, in this game, you play as a film crew that's going to investigate a replica of a house, a murder house that was pretty much based off America's first serial killer. Now, if you don't know who America's first alleged serial killer was, it's a man named H.H. Holmes. And basically, he had this hotel that he was paying on, not even paying money on. He was avoiding paying the money that he owed on it. And he turned it into a trap house pretty much. So he would lock people in their rooms and pretty much gas them and watch them die. It was pretty crazy. And he did a bunch of other horrific stuff. But basically in this game, you are trying to survive with your friends. And the more people who survive, the better ending you'll get. Now, even though I beat this game already, I wanted to replay it on a live stream. And I don't know how to unlock the curator's cut. You know, I don't know if there's some kind of DLC for this game. I looked and there's nothing. And I don't know if the game came with a code. I don't think it did. So I see a lot of people playing this version of the game, but I can't unlock it for some reason, even though I beat the game. It says you have to beat the game, and then it becomes unlockable. I'm not seeing it, unfortunately. So if anybody has any information for me, let me know, because I don't want to replay the game again until I can play that version. I recently picked up Cuphead, And I seen this game on the Xbox before. You know, it was a downloadable game only. And, you know, though I liked the way the game looked and I liked the way it played, I really didn't want to invest in it until it became a physical copy because I felt like it was one of those games that needed a physical copy. Now, if you haven't played this game, it is a run and gun shooter, but it looks like a 1930s cartoon. So think of stuff like a Betty Boop or something else I can't think of, the old school and Mickey Mouse, stuff like that. The game may look cutesy and all, but it can be very tough. So you make sure you bring your skills with you when you play this one. But anyways, guys, this game actually comes with the DLC embedded on the disc, which, you know, is always a plus for me. But yeah, if you guys have played this game, let me know how you feel about it. Alright guys, so next up I have some delisted games for you guys that I got recently. My buddy Kyle hooked these up, and delisted games mean that games are pretty much like taken off of the digital stores pretty much. So the only way to kind of have them is as a physical copy, and we feel like the value will go up for these games in time because it's not available as a digital download anymore. So the first one is The Amazing Spider-Man Part 2. So what's cool about this one, if you actually play it on the PS5, you'll get 60 frames per second, plus a resolution at 1440p. Now I know it's not 4K, but still, that's a pretty good upgrade. I'm not sure why this one got delisted from the store, but from what I hear, it's not going to be back on there. So the only way to have this game is a physical copy. Next one is Doom 3. Now, Doom 3 is my favorite in the series, actually, Doom 3 is what the movie is pretty much based off of. If you guys really enjoyed the movie, well, you know, definitely play Doom 3. But this game was delisted from Xbox Live, so pretty much it's fully playable on the Xbox Series X, but on the Series X you get 60 frames per second and Dolby Vision, so there's a cool upgrade there. Shadows of the Damned has recently been delisted, or at least I don't know if it was recently, but now I just found out about it. And pretty much this is already a $60 game. It's fully playable on the Xbox Series X, and if you play it on Series X, you get 60 frames per second with Dolby Visual. Now, we talked about this game on my channel before. This is a true hidden gem. It's one of Joel's favorite games. I think Joel did a video on this game. You guys should check out. If not, he should do it immediately. But anyways, guys, another one that's been delisted. Operation Flashback, Red River. I remember briefly playing this game back in the day, and if you own this game today, you get pretty much, you play on the Series X, you get Dolby Vision, audio HDR, and 60 frames per second. I feel like this is another game that'll go up in value, but you guys let me know. And now we have Jump Force. So this recently got delisted on the PSN, and if you play this game on the PS5, you get 1440p and 60 frames per second. With the popularity of how these arena fighters are, especially when they have all these different like franchises together in one, I feel like this is another one that'll go up in price. But hey, you never really know. But just want to get that information out to you guys. That's going to do it for our delisted games section. Let me know in the future if you guys want me to do more videos about games that are delisted. Now here's Demon's Turf. So this was on sale at GameStop, I think around $11, and I figured I'd take a chance on it. As of right now, the Xbox Series X, or Xbox One version of this game, is the only physical version out there, so I wanted to give it a go. And it looks like it's got some potential. I'm just kind of wondering, though, why did the Xbox Xbox One version is the only one that got a physical version for this game? Usually it's the other way around, like the Switch will get a version of this game, or the PS4 will get a physical version, not the Xbox, but maybe they had some kind of deal going, I don't know. But yeah, guys, let me know about this one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge finally got a physical release with all the delays it was having at last minute. But it's finally here, and this is a worthy game to the arcade ports of the Turtles games. The developers of this game really show that they cared about those games, and they wanted to create something bigger and better, and they did with this game. Now, a lot of you guys may have seen, or may not have seen, when I played this with Media Glitch a few months back. We had a 6-player team. We went through the whole game It was a great experience, and I'll never forget it. It was so much fun. And it's games like this that kind of remind you of your childhood, at least if you're my age, I would say. There was a rumor I heard, or maybe it's not a rumor, but they said they were going to make 2 more games in this format. So this game might have 2 sequels. That'll be freaking awesome. I just hope in the sequels, they give Shredder a little bit more time on the screen. This one's called Shredder's Revenge. And Shredder gets his revenge, kind of, but it seems like he's barely in the game. He'll pop up here and there all pissed off and mad, but it doesn't really feel like a revenge. It's more like Shredder's back. It's not revenge because he doesn't really get revenge on you in this game, obviously. But anyways, guys, this is out as a physical. You can pick it up at Best Buy or Amazon, I believe. So I would say definitely pick it up if you haven't played the game already. It is freaking fantastic. So here's Demon Throttle for the Switch. Shout out to Level 1 Online. He hooked me up with this copy of this game. And for those of you who haven't played this game, it's very similar to old school games like Gunsmoke. The game kind of scrolls. Well, here's a little bit of story. Kind of. Your 2 characters have been wronged, and they're trying to get revenge for what happened to them. So you can switch between them during the levels, and you have to be very strategic about it because their energy, they could take damage, and obviously switching between them will protect them sometimes for taking too much damage, but you still got to recover. It pretty much plays kind of like a shoot 'em up in a way. Switching between characters, they have different projectiles they can use and stuff like that. You have different paths you could take. And then at the end of the level, of course, you fight a boss, and depending on what path you take usually, the game throws a lot at you. So the first level is no cakewalk, so you got to be really prepared to be moving around and paying attention to your surroundings because there's so much stuff coming at you. It's not impossible, but at the same time, you can't really slouch. I think it'll be out on Amazon by the time this video is out, so definitely check out Amazon if you want to pick up a physical copy of this game. So Video Games New York has put out a physical copy of Earth Atlantis. So I seen this game a while ago and I wasn't too sure about it. I was thinking it was kind of like that game In the Hunt. Where In the Hunt is more of an arcade shoot 'em up. This game, I want to say, focuses more on exploration. So just to give you guys a little bit of information about the story, human civilization has fallen after the great climate shift of the 21st century. 96% of Earth has been submerged underwater. So yeah, this is pretty much a dystopian future. So yeah, hopefully there's some light at the end of the tunnel when you get to the end of this game. But man, that's a messed up story. But anyways, guys, this game is exclusive on the Switch at Video Games NYSOFT. I will leave a link in the description if you guys want to pick this one up. Resident Evil 8 Village. Yes, I call it Resident Evil 8 Village. I don't care what anybody says. But this is the gold edition. I just want to warn everybody, if you buy this game expecting the DLC to be embedded on a disc, wrong. They actually had the nerve to put a download code inside of this. They changed the cover art of the disc, but they still couldn't embed the DLC into the game. It's like, dude, what is going on with these people? But anyways, the Shadows of Rose DLC, in the beginning, I wasn't impressed with it. It was very annoying hearing Rose whine a lot, and it's like, dude, am I gonna have to hear this through the whole game? And luckily, by the time you get to the house of Benevito, that's where I feel like the game picks up at. When I saw Happy Console's review of the game, I knew that was the part that he wanted to keep secret, man. When you get to that part of the game, you're like, okay, now this DLC is starting to get worth it. A lot of creepy stuff going on here. I won't explain it all to you. You guys will have to figure it out, but it's pretty cool. So very impressed with that. And then all the way to the end of the game from there, I felt like it was a worthy DLC add-on. So It's definitely worth getting the DLC for this game. I just don't know if it's worth getting the gold edition if you already have the regular edition, because like I said, it only comes with a DLC code in it, which, oh gosh, this is so annoying. But anyways, if you haven't checked this game out, definitely do so. If you already have the game, definitely get the DLC for it. Star Ocean 6, The Divine Force. Man, I'm so excited for this game. And while playing the demo, you know, I felt really impressed with it. You know, I felt like it was going the right direction. The story started off pretty strong, depending on who you play with first. I picked Raymond to start off with to see how the story was going to fold out. And his story started strong. You know, explosions, escapes, landing on a planet, you know, meeting other characters. It was all within pretty much like the first 15 minutes. So definitely the game pulls you in. I was really enjoying the game about 8 hours in until my computer had an error on it and I had to fix my computer, so that kind of killed that whole day I had time to play this game. So I want to pick it back up pretty soon because, I mean, Star Ocean games are my jam. I love them. As you guys know, Star Ocean, the second story, is my favorite in the series. I love that game. I'll never forget the experience playing that for the first time. So I'm hoping for the same type of experience with this one, hopefully. I do want to tell everybody this. In the beginning of the game, it asks you if you want to prioritize graphics or frame rate. I have to say go with frame rate because there's a lot of stuff happening in this game at once and you don't want any slowdown. So definitely go with frame rate. Hopefully the new generation systems don't have to go through this. They probably play smooth on either option, but man, on the Pro, yeah, definitely go with frame rate. But overall, before I had to stop playing, I was really enjoying the game. And I think a lot of people can get into this one. You know, you don't have to play the other Star Oceans to get into this one, so that's why they don't include the numbers on them. But yeah, if you see this one out there, you're looking for an action RPG, I would say definitely pick this one up.
If we misstep, we shall look to you, Duma.
Should we just follow this path?
Indeed. I believe the village of Ada lies to the east.
Well, then, I guess that's where we're headed.
Very good.
So next up is Fishing Resort. Now I got this from a trade from my buddy John, and I don't really know too much about it. I do know that it was kind of a late release for the system, so it's probably kind of obscure and rare. But it's one of those games that reminds me of Fishing Star World Tour. I don't know if you guys remember when I talked about that a while ago. It came with a fishing rod and everything. You got this beautiful resort and go through these different islands. I feel like this game is the same way, but you actually get to control a character walking around and like setting up stuff. It looks really cool. I don't know if many of my subscribers are into fishing games like this, but I try to bring the best of the best to the channel, and I think the ones I mentioned before on the channel and this one are some of the best ones. So if you see this one out there for a good price, you might want to pick it up. Here's Silverload. So before I get into this game, I want to give a shout out to my buddy John Houston. Always looking out for your fellow gamer, man. Thanks for the hookup on this, man. You always take care of everybody, man, and we appreciate that. So Silverload is a point and click adventure, and it's one of those, well, I feel like all of them are pretty much trial and error types. I'll give you an example. So when you first start the game, you have to check into a hotel. When you go to sleep, you have to make sure you lock the door, because if you don't lock the door, it's game over. Something will come in there and kill you. But you're pretty much a hired bounty hunter, and you're going in to find a settler's son. You'll run into a lot of creepy areas, creepy characters. I mean, you're going against pretty much vampires and wolves, so you just have to be very careful in your decision making. But like I said, it is a trial and error type game, so you're gonna get killed a lot. Kind of like, think of like Heart of Darkness. You know, like if you played that game, how many times people got killed in that one. You won't get as killed as much in this one as in that one, but still, just be prepared. It's hard to figure some things out sometimes. With Tiny Toons University on the horizon. I decided to pick this game up when I saw it at my local store. I don't know, I just figured like I wouldn't be interested in it. And I picked it up because it was a 3D adventure game. They missed a lot of opportunities with this game because even though this is a kid's game, I believe you can finish it like in probably like 40 minutes if you know what you're doing. There's key moments when they could have added voice acting into this game. Unfortunately, there's no voice acting in this game from the original cast, so kind of sucks from the previous game that they put on the PlayStation, Buster's Beanstalk, I think. That had voice acting in it. But anyways, just a random pickup, just to celebrate the new cartoon coming out. I picked up a sealed copy of Putter Golf because I'm going to get this graded, and hopefully I'll get a lot of money from that. No, I'm just kidding, guys. But I did pick it up sealed. I already have this game. I saw it very cheap, and I thought it was kind of cool seeing a sealed PS1 game. I consider Putter Golf probably one of the hidden gems out of golf games. A lot of people don't know about this game. It's actually pretty cool. It actually has a relaxing soundtrack to it as well. But I'm not going to get too much into it. It is a golf game, so go into it knowing it's a fun one. Here is Thunderstrike. The reason I actually picked this up, well, it was cheap. And also, I thought it was a part of the Strike series, meaning like a Soviet Strike, a Nuclear Strike, things like that. But this is his own thing made by Core Software. If you guys remember them, they're the original creators of Tomb Raider. The last game they made was Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. If you're a fan of that game like I am, man, you are a hardcore Tomb Raider fan. But anyways, going back to this game, very different, but it's actually pretty cool. This will take some getting used to, though, for me, because the controls are kind of weird. But still, I think this is a pretty cool game, and I can't believe I've never heard of it. So, Thunderstrike Part 2. If you like what you're seeing here, you might want to check it out.
179er, this is a green light for a go, go, go.
Real Bout 2 is the only Fatal Fury game that I have not really played much at all. This came out, I think, maybe a few months or maybe a year after Real Bout Special came out. Real Bout Special being my favorite out of the Real Bout series. But this one was very interesting. Now, if you haven't played the Real Bout games, Special and this one, they don't have a story mode. It's just pretty much arcade fighting going against other characters. Terry has pretty much been my main since the beginning of the Fatal Fury series. And of course, he's my main in this game. But man, it's time to change that outfit, man. I mean, it is not early 90s anymore, man. I wish they would go with the Mark of the Wolves outfit, but everybody seems to like this trademark Drifter outfit. But anyways, you got solid gameplay, great music, awesome time.
Fight!
Here's Aero Fighters 3 for the Neo Geo CD. This game is also known as Sonic Wings. I don't know which name is more popular, the Japanese name Sonic Wings or Aero Fighters, but anyways, those titles are the same game. And as you can see here, this is a vertical shoot 'em up. This game is really fun and has a lot of action going on. I don't remember how popular shooters like this were during the mid-90s, but obviously they made a third game, so it was popular enough. But as you can see here, definitely a lot of fun to be had with this game. A little story, I actually got the PlayStation version of this game. It's called Sonic Wings Special. You could say in America, Aero Wings Special. But anyways, that game is pretty cool because it has a certain amount of levels. The first level is always the same, but all the rest of the levels are random. So that game is always a different experience, so it's pretty cool. So anyways, that was the first one I really played, and then I went back and got this one. So if you like what you're seeing here, these games might be something you want to pick up for your Neo Geo CD. So here's Top Hunter for Neo Geo CD. This was one of my favorite Neo Geo games back in the day when I played it in an arcade. This is what you would call kind of like a platform beat 'em up, I would say. You know, I wouldn't call it a shooter, but you get guns here and there, but yeah, it's more of a beat 'em up. But anyways, I love that you could jump into the background and then come back to the foreground. It really gives you a lot of innovation of what you could do, like to dodge enemies and attack them at the same time. I remember not a lot of people were playing this game in arcade, so I had to play it solo for the most part. But I think I got through the game, well, as a kid. I think I spent around $7 on it, and I got through the whole game, so that was kind of cool. But other than that, though, it's very cool to come back and play this game. Definitely something you guys will want to have on the Neo Geo CD or any other console it was released on. So here is the Metal Slug limited edition from Limited Run. This is the Vita version, as you can see, and I randomly came across this thanks to my buddy Elvis Roy. We did a trade, and he let me get this. So Metal Slug 3 on the Vita. I thought this was going to be my last game for the system, like I said in my Portland video, but man, something like this like kind of comes up to you. You're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get that. So Metal Slug 3 run and gun game. Definitely considered the best in the series. It's not my favorite. Part 4 is my favorite, as most of you guys already know. But Part 3, you could really tell that they probably thought that was going to be the last game they made in the series, so they put everything into this game. My favorite level is the second level. It's like that Area 51 site, and the zombies are coming at you. The scientists are running, and you turn into a zombie if you get hit by them. And it's just, the level is freaking crazy. It's really well done, and the boss in that level is freaking insane. But anyways, if you guys like this game, you're probably more than likely to probably download it on a modern system instead of like getting it on the Vita. I think the Vita is kind of a weird place to put this game, especially the state the Vita was in at the time of its release. But still, cool to have. Check this game out. And next up, Elvis gifted me a Fragrance Story. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this game. I don't even know if Elvis knows this, but everybody's saying this game is a scam as the last 3DS release. I don't know why. I haven't done too much research into it, but like the videos I pull up of this game, it's just everybody saying scam, or is it a scam? I don't know. Strategy RPGs, you know, if it's done well, this could be a solid game. But those of you that have played it, you guys let me know how it is. I haven't got to it just yet, but I did want to talk about it a little bit. Mario and Donkey Kong is a puzzle platform that uses elements from earlier games in both series. It's actually pretty cool. I've always saw this game out there, and I just said, you know, it's not I'm going to really pay attention to. But once I saw the detail they put into this game, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. So the game starts off with Donkey Kong watching TV, and he sees these Mario toys and falls in love and immediately has to go get them. And that's where he breaks into this factory and steals all the Mario toys. And of course, it's up to Mario to save the day, to rescue the toys, so and everything that Donkey Kong stole. So that's where the game pretty much, that's the story for it. I see this series of games have been successful because they've made sequels to it, but I want to check this one out and see like where it started at, of course. So hopefully I'm going to enjoy this game. If you guys have played it, let me know in the comments how you feel about it. Avengers Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger 9 Part 2. That's a crazy title. But this is very similar to Azure Striker Gunvolt Part 3 in any of the Gunvolt games. You play as Copen, and pretty much a little bit of the story, you get transferred to another world, you find some other beings, they're pretty hostile, you're trying to find your way back home. I felt like the workers in this game, those are the enemy types that you fight, were pretty awesome. I think they were very well done. My favorite out of the bunch that you fight is Brigade. I think Brigade is pretty awesome, especially if you fight them on hard mode. Definitely a worthy boss battle. But all of them are really good. Man, this is another action-packed game I think a lot of people will like. I was thinking about doing a review on this game, but I figured, you know what, it's just, there's plenty of good reviews out there. I mean, you guys are seeing it here now, so I'll just talk about it briefly here. But I think this is my favorite Gunvolt game right now in the series. That's probably, people are looking at me like I'm crazy, but man, I think this is the best one so far. So, yeah, you guys let me know what you think about that. But definitely, I would say pick this one up if you have the chance. It's a lot of fun. The music is great. The battles are just epic to me. I feel like it's just a throwback to the games I like. You know, like I don't know if you guys noticed, or maybe you should notice already, but I'm a big Mega Man fan, and I love the Mega Man X series. I love the ZX series, even the Zero series as well. So definitely try this game out if you get a chance.
Ballistic shield! You better be ready! On guard! Bringing it back! Go! Fire! 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 Forward march! I will hold the line! This is it for you! I will race you! Let's go, Vespa!
Yes, brother!
Connection?
Complete!
Synchro onslaught! This is our
True power!
time!
Watch closely! I'll obliterate you!
Alright everyone, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't know when I'll release another video. Hopefully, maybe I'll release something else for this year. We'll see how it goes, but definitely in next year. But anyways guys, as usual, hope you enjoyed the video. Radical Reggie, and I will see you all later.